Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming out. I feel really odd. I don't normally sit with my back to everyone. I don't. Hello. Hi. I have an ankle problem and a hip problem and a, oh my God, I drove for the first time today problem. What I'm reading today is, is what I started working on in Tom's group 3 years ago. And I thought for sure that I was going to kill it because it was too hard and I was too confused and it was too talky. So in the meantime, I've been writing all along a bunch of short stories. It's sort of loosely based on the same story. But I revived it with some help of my Pam Houston, who's my MFA advisor, and a whole bunch of help all along the way from all y'all dangerous writers to even get to the point where I could make any sense out of it. So this is the very beginning of what I might call a novel someday. And thank you again for coming. Chrome. I'll work on it. I have a difficulty seeing. I'm not going to be able to move much, so bear with me if I shift around a little. My job had everything to do with chrome. I would wipe down the fenders, mirrors, and finally the hubcaps. By then, Dad would be done with the rest of the car, so the first part of my job was done. Dad would dry the car with diapers in long swaths to get it ready for the wax. I would gather the diapers and lay them out and we'd go on to dry. I was standing at the back of the car, ready to take the last diaper and lay it out on the lawn when our neighbor Betty walked by. Betty was in red lipstick and thick ankles and a daughter my age. It was my oldest brother's 7th birthday, and I was in a hurry to get the car finished so we could see what Dad was hiding in the garage. But Dad was taking his sweet time. Ruby was beautiful, Dad said. Cherry red, black diamond tuck upholstery, smooth curves, and legs for days. Purred like a kitten. Even though he was looking right at me, I knew that faraway laugh was for Betty. Dad wiping the diaper in small swirls instead of big swaths, the lines in his forehead smooth and his eyelids half masked. My mic's messed. Okay. I have to pee, I said. It was more like, I have to pee, I said. Mom was standing at the cast iron sink in our kitchen. Our cupboards were buttery yellow with shiny concave copper knobs. The kind of knobs that turned the reflection upside down. After I went to the bathroom, I sat on a little white footstool with a black rubber tread next to Mom's knees and practiced making faces at my upside down me. Never seen anything like it, Mom said, in love with the damn car. Ruby was a red Mustang convertible my dad bought just out of high school with his box boy money from Albertsons. Mom said he went halfway across the country to Boise to get it, but he had to sell it when they found out she was pregnant with Ron John. He died before he was born. Like he's the only one who had to give up something, she said. I mostly listened when Mom talked, since she was never really talking to anyone in particular. I smiled and ran my pointer finger around the Necco-sized copper knobs while she talked. She had a way of making me want to sit there until she was either done with her dishes or done with me. Didn't want to feel like she was talking to herself, I guess. Can I have a cookie? I asked. Hand me that dish towel. She wiped her hands dry and held the cookie plate down. Never looked at me once. Her mouth stayed in a straight line that made her top lip disappear. Just one, she said. Who can help your father? I grabbed the cookie and my Mrs. Beasley doll, who I called Beasley. Beasley and I went everywhere together. She was a doll, but I wouldn't tell her that. Beasley was half as tall as me and came dressed in a skirt and an apron. Her whole body was blue cotton with white polka dots, same as her dress, same as her apron. I didn't even have to pull on her string anymore to know what she was saying. She had a sameness I could count on. We went outside. Dad came out of the garage carrying the aluminum milk crate that held a can of turtle wax and a new stack of clean white diapers. He'd taken off his shirt. He never carried much around the middle in the way of fat, and his biceps poked out like grapefruit. Over his tan shoulders hung my favorite thing in the world, an aluminum Boy Scout canteen and snapped down into a canvas bag. It was right in the middle of the Vietnam War, but it was flat feet that kept Dad from being drafted. They didn't stop him from acting all sergeant around the house. He handed me the canteen. It was big around as my head. "Drink up, soldiers." I lifted the canteen up to my lips with both hands. "I'm going to put away the hose," he said. "You two stay here and keep an eye on the rest of the supplies." "Yes, sir," I said and saluted. Beasley saluted too. Dad dragged the hose to the back of the house. As soon as he went out of earshot, Beasley spoke, all English old lady creaky. "Would you like to try on my glasses?" Beasley said. Yes, I would. Thank you, Beasley." She had plastic hands and plastic head, and used to have curly blonde hair, but the boys cut most of her hair off. Her thick black glasses were plastic and square, and almost fit me just fine. "Speak a little louder, dear," Beasley said, "so Beasley can hear you." I took Beasley's glasses off her face, pulled the ear braces apart enough to put them on. "Do you want to hear a secret?" Beasley said. "I know one." Beasley's glasses didn't quite reach back far enough to tuck behind my ears, so I had to be careful not to move too fast. I brought Beasley up to my ear and listened. "I do think you're the nicest little friend I've ever had. And I have another friend I want you to meet." "Who?" "His name is Harley," Beasley said. "I do think you would like him to." "What have we here?" Dad asked. My body jerked and Beasley's glasses fell into my lap. "Everything okay, Gumdrop?" Dad said. He always called me Gumdrop when he was worried about me. "I'm okay," I said. "Beasley was telling me a secret." Dad picked up Beasley and rocked her in his arms and lowered her onto the nylon chair. "There you go, Mrs. Beasley," Dad said. "I think you will find the accommodation real comfortable." He fluffed out her apron and patted her hair, then came back and sat down beside me. Sorry. "How's my little daydreamer?" I breathed in deep and slow. He put his hand on top of my head, kept me from floating away. "Thank you."